Hello, Earthlings. My name is Matthew, and I'm a computer science student studying here on the planet Mars. Just kidding. I'm actually a freshman at Toronto Metropolitan University, and today I'm going to be your section leader. So, today we're going to be writing a basic Python program that takes your weight here on Earth and converts it to whatever your weight would be on the planet Mars. Now, let's start by talking about what variables are. A variable in Python is essentially a container with a name and a type. For example, let's create a variable called name and set it equal to my name. Now, if we print out this variable, it's going to print out the value associated with the variable. Now, each variable in Python has a type. For example, this is of type int, which is a number without decimal values. Now, this is of type float, which is a number with decimal values. Now, this thing up here is of type string, which is a sequence of characters enclosed inside quotation marks. Now that we know what variables are, let's move on to the main program. Now, you may or may not be familiar with the syntax here, and if not, that's okay. This is essentially just telling us to write our executable code inside the main function right here. Now, we're going to start by writing something called pseudocode. Pseudocode is just writing out the steps you would take to solve a problem in English, so that way we don't have to worry about the syntax of the programming language for now. So we're going to start by declaring a Mars weight variable so that we can convert our Earth weight to our Mars weight. Now we're going to get user input and save as variable Earth weight. Now, this is important. Whenever we get user input and save it to a variable, this is always going to be of type string. Python does this automatically. And this is not what we want for this program, because we want to be able to do calculations with our Earth weight, such as multiplying it, which we can't do with a string. Well, specifically, we can't multiply a string with a float. So we're going to do something called variable type conversion. So we'll take our Earth weight and convert to type float. And we're going to convert it to a type float so we can deal with decimal values. And now that we have it as a float, we can multiply Mars weight variable and Earth weight, save as variable Mars weight. Now that we're done, we can print out our Mars weight. Okay, now that we're done with our pseudocode, let's get started with the actual program. So for our Mars weight multiplier variable, we can actually declare this as something called a constant variable. Now, a constant variable is a variable that we know is never going to change. And we're going to put this at the top of our program so we can access it anywhere else in the program. Next, we're going to get user input and save as a variable called Earth weight. Now, this is going to prompt the user and save it into the variable Earth weight. Next, we know that it's going to be of type string, so we need to convert it to type float. And we do this by setting Earth weight and updating it to the float version of Earth. And this is called type conversion. You take the desired type, brackets, the variable that you're converting. Now that we have it as a float form, we're going to multiply it and save it as Mars weight. Okay, and now we're done and we can print out the result. And to combine this with our value for Mars weight, we need to add the string together with a number. However, in Python, you can't add strings and numbers, so we need to convert our Mars weight into a string first. And we're going to do this by using variable type conversion again. So we'll do string Mars underscore weight. And now our program should be complete. So let's run it and see what happens. What is your Earth weight? And it gives us this nasty little number down here. And so our program is done. Congratulations. You just wrote a Python program on converting your Earth weight to Mars weight. And in this program, we learned about what variables are and different variable types, such as int, float, or string. We also learned about variable type conversion, such as when we converted strings to a float, or also a float back to a string. Now, we also learned about what constants are and when to use them. These concepts are extremely important in programming, even beyond Python, and hopefully you can apply them to future programs that you'll write. I hope that you are able to learn a lot in this video, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.